Thanks for joining us and listening to another God-lived and God-breathed message by Darius Nelms. Our mission is to increase our generation standard back to God's standard of excellence and kingdom living through personal development, relational wisdom, business management, and faith increase. Our aim is that this message inspires and infuses you to reach your next level of living and helps you discover your rightful place in God's kingdom. Now, let's dive into the message.
Welcome to another episode of Think Tank Tuesday, where we meet every other Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to explore the mind of God, the ideas of God, the precepts and principles of God. This is Think Tank Tuesday, episode 35. Thank you so much for joining in, and I'm excited to share with you tonight. This episode is going to be centered around faith, right? And understanding that faith isn't limited to God doing exceedingly, abundantly, and above all that you can ask or think. Did you hear what I just said? Faith is not limited to God doing exceedingly, abundantly, and above all you can ask or think. Faith is not limited to that. Faith is, do you still believe if he does not do that? Daniel chapter 3, verses 16 through 18, NLT version. It says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied, O Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God whom we serve is able to save us. He will rescue us from your power, your majesty. Verse 18, this is the emphasis. It says, but even if he doesn't, we want to make it clear to you, your majesty, that we will never serve your gods or worship the gold statue that you have set up. But even if he doesn't, drive that into your spirit, but even if he doesn't fulfill your wildest dreams, even if he doesn't get you what is on your prayer wish list, even if he doesn't give you what you are believing earnestly for, even if he doesn't, will you still believe? Will your faith be unshaken? And this is known as the divine mystery of God. This is known as respecting the divine mystery of God. Respecting the divine mystery of God. Because the mystery is that he may not respond in a way that's popular or favorable, but do we trust his wisdom in all circumstances, situations, and areas in our lives? Or do we think that we know better and that we know more than what his final judgment says? And through the integrity of Scripture, it seems as if God works more than he speaks. So when God is silent, instead of despising it, we have to learn to appreciate it. See, when it comes to human wisdom and relational constructs, the silent treatment, especially when it comes to mental health, is used as a weapon against you. If you talk to any mental health professional, they will let you know that anyone that gives you the silent treatment is using that as a weapon against you. But when it comes to God, however, his silence is actually edifying, right? His silence is actually edifying. Isaiah chapter 55, verses 8 through 9, Amplified Edition. It says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are my ways your ways, my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. And so what we have to understand is that we have to have faith in the silence of God. When God is silent, that's actually the time to dig deeper in our faith and trust in him. We have to trust and know that he has not abandoned us. Trust and know that his love has not stopped. Trust and know that he's beside you and guiding you, even if it doesn't feel like it. Even if it doesn't feel like it. Mark chapter 15, verse 34, Amplified Edition. It says, and at the 9th hour, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, which is translated to, my God, why have you forsaken me? And so what we need to grasp is that God will go dark at times. He will go off grid sometimes. He will go MIA sometimes. But his silence is his advice. God's silence is his advice when you're looking for it the most? And his advice is this: you know what to do. Go through it. Get to the other side of it. It's not going to kill you, even if it feels like it. God is there with us at every turn. But he's urging us to go through it. He may be watching from the outside looking in, but get through it. Get to the other side of where he's waiting. Get to the other side of where he's waiting. See, because God is not only king, but he's father. And any good parent knows that your children are going to go through things that you want to save them from, but you can't save them from everything. As a matter of fact, when they go through the toughest moments, that's the time when you have to let them know that you're there for them, but you just got to step back and let them go through it. You have to step back and let them get through it. And knowing that when they get through it, when they get to the other side of it, you're going to be on the other side of it with them, waiting for them, clapping for them, ready to hug and embrace them because they got through it. We have to get to the other side of where God is waiting. And when you get to the other side of where God is waiting, from there, something greater awaits. Isaiah chapter 61, verse 3, NIV version. It says, and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord, for the display of his splendor. So again, our faith is defined on our belief in him, even when he doesn't do what we expect him to do. Our faith and our belief in him, even when God goes dark, when God goes off the grid, when God goes off the books, do we still believe? Are we able to remain faithful? Are we able to go through and grow through? Are we able to meet God on the other side of what may be hurting us and crushing us? Can we get through the other side of it? Because that's the other side is where he's waiting to embrace us with love. Jesus said, my God, why have you forsaken me? That was an emotional response, very human in nature, a very emotional response, warranted in nature. But guess what? Jesus knew that even in his feeling of being forsaken, that God was with him the entire time, that the office of father and king that God withheld, and that God, or I shouldn't say withheld, but that the position of father and that the position of king that God holds in the heavenly realms, Jesus knew that God didn't go anywhere, that he just had to get through that moment of pain, that he had to get through that moment in the crucifixion, because guess what? It was something greater on the other side of it. And it was death, the conquering of death. It was the dominion that was restored back in the earth. It was the belief of all men being saved that was being done. That was something greater on the other side of that moment in the crucifixion. And so when we understand that God is waiting on the other side of our greatest pain, we'll be motivated. We will be somewhat encouraged to not only grow through it, but to get through it, because the other side is where he is. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Think Tank Tuesday episode. If you like this video, please like it, share this video with family and friends, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your time. Until next time, friends, peace.
May the Lord bless you, keep you, and make his face shine upon you. As we abide in his grace, presence, and peace, remember that you are an agent of change wherever your feet shall tread. Thanks for listening to this message and for the opportunity to teach and lead you. Until next time.